The Chicago Sky return to the court this week, and when they do, Michaela Onyenwere is going to be in that starting lineup. We're going to talk about that, plus more Sky news and more. But first, we got to play that intro.
Welcome to Chicago Sky Central, and here's your host, Haize.
What's going on, Sky fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Sky Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related. Stevo, myself, Haize, we in the building today for this news that just dropped not too long ago. Stevo, me and you talked about it. We called it. I don't think we ever got a chance to actually talk about it on stream, but Michaela Onyenwere has been officially named as the new starting small forward for the Chicago Sky. How you feeling about that move, Stevo?
Yeah, I like it. It's expected. She's a big body, 6'1", maybe pushing 6'2". Can stretch the floor, and she plays defense, and she does a lot of the nasty work that a lot of people don't pay attention to. And we just seen her more and more get acclimated back into the lineup as I was screaming and hollering for her to come back in. But yeah, it's just expected. There is nobody else on this team right now that I could say could fill her space at this point, or even similar to a Marina Mabry. So yeah, I think it might be even more fitting for what the team is fit to do right now. And we'll see how it goes, but I think it was pretty much expected at this point.
Yeah, I think it's the best decision possible. Of course, I would have loved Diamond DeShields to be, playing better to where she could have moved back into that, because I think having her and Kennedy Carter out there could have been dangerous. But Michaela Onyenwere brings some defense. She's shooting the three ball at I think a 40% clip so far this season. Not taking a bunch of them, but she's shooting it at a solid percentage. And she's really been playing well. When you look at the last like 3-4 games for the Chicago Sky before the break, she was playing really well over there, really kind of hitting her stride. So now being in that starting lineup, I hope that Teresa Weatherspoon gives her a long leash to kind of figure out the timing and things being out there with those starters. But she brings kind of the best balance of shooting, defense, and she doesn't need a bunch of shots to be effective either, right? You don't have to run a bunch of offense for her. So that makes sense as well.
Yeah, she almost finds her own shots, whether it's cutting to the basket, um, being open at the right spots. She likes to be in that corner a lot, so we can generate a lot of shots for her in the corner. And yeah, she just plays hard. And it's gonna be real nice to see her next to Angel, somebody that can almost nearly match her motor when it comes to it. So we're gonna be even more irritated on the offensive side and defensive side of the ball. So maybe our defense, sometimes was slacking in that starting lineup sometimes. So maybe she can add a little bit more umph to the defense with her being on the start lineup now.
That's a fact. That's a fact. We also got word today that Mariah Jefferson is healthy and she will be out there playing on Thursday. This gives the Sky an additional body out there. So just for the first time this season, outside of Elizabeth Williams, the Sky are fully healthy. With that said, now let me ask you this. We know that we did also acquire Lotto. Shout out to Rachel Bannerman. I love that they've been having a lot of fun with that.
Facts.
And Mariah Jefferson for Marina Mabry. But both of these ladies are guards. And so they're both veteran guards, 30 and 31 years old. They've been in the WNBA for a long time. How do you see that bench rotation shaking out? Because now we're even smaller coming off the bench than what we were before. We basically are all guards and Isabel Harrison out there coming off the bench, and hopefully maybe Diamond Shields plays better down the stretch as well.
Yeah, it's funny I didn't know this was gonna be the topic. It's funny you said it because I was just talking to Jay Capone right before you came on here. And he was like, "You think Mariah Jefferson gonna be in the starting lineup because her LA be coming off that bench could be good?" And I'm like, I wouldn't say immediately, just because you got to acclimate to the offense, get to learning people. But I don't see why down the road that possibly can't be something we see down the stretch, because I think what Mariah is best in kind of hides what LA is lacking in certain situations. So I think just getting her in general to add to this bench depth piece, we needed somebody that could pass more. I do feel like she's a little bit more of a better passer than LA. So I'm looking more for that connection between her and the Camilla to get the outlet passes right, drop it down low to the nice spots where she needs to. The pick and roll being a little bit more cleaner as well, and then you won't have such a problem when the bench come in and so stagnant, because we've seen the times even when Kennedy got moved to the starting lineup, LA came off the bench, and if we need a bucket, she'd go get it. If she needed to settle us down, she was the one to do it. So I wouldn't be completely against either of them starting, but I'm pretty sure LA is still gonna be in the starting lineup until further notice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't expect LA to be taken out of that side. I mean, I've talked about it heavily on several episodes at this point. Like every one of the Sky's positive lineups includes Lindsey Allen in it, and I'm not saying she's a perfect player, but like you're not going to take that away. Now, yeah, you're making a change with bringing Michaela Onyenwere in, but at the same time, you're probably not going to make that change unless Lindsey Allen comes out and just doesn't look good in the second half of the season, or if Rachel Banham or Mariah Jefferson are just shooting the ball lights out. But Mariah's been out
Yeah,
for a while. You want to let her acclimate to injury. Banham as well. Like she hasn't really played a lot of minutes. So I didn't really expect any changes to the starting lineup outside of whoever was going to place Marina Mabry. But yeah, I mean, overall, like I think you want everybody healthy out there. You need as much shooting as possible. And with the Sky going to play much smaller here on the back half of the season, you want that shooting as well. So we'll see.
facts.
After this, do you think either one of these ladies, not initially, but do you think either one passes up Dana Evans coming off that bench?
No, because I think, like I said, well, I don't know because, like I've been saying, when it comes to Dana, I just want her priority to just to be scoring, and it still look like I don't know if it's her or if it's coach. There's times where she still want her to come in the game and play make, and it's just like no. So if Mariah shows that she can still do it at a higher level of both, which is probably what Spoon is going to ask her to do, which is a mixture between play make and scoring. Yeah, her job could be at a jeopardy, but who knows? Because we all know that she has a soft spot, a real nice soft spot for Dana, and we, you know, me and you do too. Like we know
Yeah.
what she's capable of, but she was one of the first people either back from her. She was over in I think Mexico. She was one of the first players back, and she was in the gym. She was working. So hopefully we see it turn out for the better for her.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we got to see what they're going to bring. Player coming off injury like Mariah Jefferson, you don't expect them to make a huge impact right away, especially being on a new team, new system, things like that. But I think with Dana's she's one of Teresa Weatherspoon's favorites, and I know that's not something that everybody appreciates because they look at how Dana's performed. But she also is a dog defensively when she's put in that position
Yep.
and needs to do that. So I think that's the thing that is gonna stay focused on. And yeah, hopefully with bringing in more guards, you're increasing the passing overall, which can make Dana a lot more dangerous. So
Yeah, it is what it is when it comes to that. Hopefully, that's what I could just say for Dana. Hopefully, she just works on that game and we see something come out of that.
yeah, facts. All right, Brody. Well, with that said, we got two more topics to get into before we get up out of here, both stemming from Angel Reese around Team USA. This first one, just a quick one. So ESPN tweeted out right after Team USA won their game and asked, hey, it's Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige, who's going to be on the next Team USA? And I love this response for people who's like, Angel makes it all about her, the stupid people. Her saying this, let's just congratulate these women and let them enjoy this moment. Leave me out of this until my time comes. How do you not love Angel, man?
That's why it'd be funny that everybody says she's literally the first person ever since she was at Maryland back in high school. She talks about everybody else before she talks about herself. She knows the spotlight is on her at all times, so she don't need to boast about herself. Now she does when she wants to, but on most time she gives people when the lights is on you, she's gonna give you your praise. She's gonna let you bask in your glory. She's not a attention seeker like that. She really ain't. She knows she's gonna get her shine when it's time. But when it's somebody else being talked about, why are you talking about me? She's always been like that. I don't know how people don't hate her. Like I said, when it comes to Angel, people just have selective hearing, and that's just everything in fucking life at that.
Yeah, people just have their chosen narratives about Angel Reese negatively, and no matter what she does, they don't even really pay attention to that. But if she says something like, if she talks shit and has a competitive spirit, they pay attention to that, and then they use that to solidify their already preconceived notions. Angel's one of the most like she does give up a lot of props to the people around her, and she respects the legends that came before her. So you gotta chill with that, man.
And that's proof of why all the legends love her.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And we also got to talk about this one. So Gabby Williams coming off playing for her French national team. Angel Reese asked Gabby Williams to come play in Chicago. And keep in mind, recruitment. And that's one thing that you got to love. The former Sky, led by James, I think James Wade was still the GM there. People say that they did her dirty. I mean, let's be clear here. Gabby Williams did not live up to the hype around her draft position either. But I will say that they snatched away opportunity when they could have done better to develop her as well.
I feel like it wasn't necessarily we done her dirty. I think it was we was in a situation for one at the position that she was at. We already had Kalia there, and
Yeah,
then we had Kalia. We had that's when we and then we behind that we got Diamond the Shields. She didn't. She came into like we shouldn't have drafted her. Like she
that's
should have
true.
went somewhere else. Like that's really what it was. But and that was right before her last season was 2021. That was right when we started making moves for that championship team.
Yeah.
So she just went to the wrong situation, which happens to most people. That's just the politics of basketball. It's all about most of the people that we think are going to be good. It's not always up to you being good. If you go to the wrong situation, that can mess up your whole career. So, but I'm sure you're gonna go into the next part of can you, yeah.
Yeah, well, so Gabby did respond with, "Hey, let's play somewhere else together." That they did her wrong in Chicago.
No.
Yeah. So
But
I mean, it is a completely different organization. New head coach, new GM, several new owners now. Dwayne Wade wasn't here yet. So we've added several
Jeff,
people. Yeah, Jeff Pagioshi. So
yeah.
we've added a
I
lot to
think
that. Go ahead.
just because a lot of people think it's like, can we get her here? And I was like that anyway. But I think like knowing her story, I think getting her back into the W is going to be difficult for anybody because the main reason why she left was money. She's playing over and she went back to France. She played 3 years in France. She's now playing in Turkey. Turkey, you can make you some good ass money. I think she's making in between 250 to 300 K a year. And I think that's the issue. What she's trying to make now in the W, the top players are making. So in order for her to come back into the league and really take it serious, she's gonna have to do 1 to 2 years to prove herself to get that type of money. I don't think she's willing to do that when she can play her ass off in Turkey, make that money, and then potentially if you get that call from Russia or China, I really ain't trying to hear from the W. That's $2 million, $3 million I can make in a year.
Yeah.
So I think it's just it. I think sometimes in certain situations in the W right now, like if you in the wrong situations, you just kind of sour on the WNBA and you realize there's better opportunity elsewhere because it's just the hardest. It's the hardest league to make it into.
Yeah, it is. It is. And of course, with a new team creating 12 more roster spots, things like that. Another team coming in a couple of years as well that'll add another 12 to it. Of course, you're going to see more and more people. And don't forget too, like at the end of the 2025 season, the CBA's up. Contracts are going to see a nice increase as well with the TV contract. So that may be where you start seeing some of those players that go overseas to come back over to the WNBA. At that point, Gabby Williams will still be pretty young. Maybe that's where you can see Gabby Williams back. But, other than that, I don't expect Gabby Williams to come back, especially not during this season.
Yeah, I think for the next few years, she's going to make some bread. Like she has the better opportunity, especially with her out in this Olympics. Not only is W calling people, like I said, Russia's calling, people, Greece, China, like those type of countries she can make serious money from. And I don't judge her for wanting to stay over there.
Yeah. I mean, especially when the WNBA has had the problems that it's had. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, fam. Any other questions or topics or anything before we get up out of here, man?
Hey, we got a game Thursday. Make sure y'all tune in. C-Dub will be back. And we also got a busy weekend. We got a double. We got to go play Saturday. Then we got to run it back Sunday night. So I hope y'all get y'all energy drinks because we're going to be here.
That's a fact. We're back finishing out this season, man. Hopefully this finish with a Sky playoff run. That's the hope here is that we can get Camilla, we can get Kennedy Carter, we can get Angel Reese, awesome playoff experience in this. And then I'm telling y'all this right now. Over the offseason, we'll figure out how we're going to deliver content because WNBA isn't like other sports. There's really no rumors. Like literally the WNBA shuts down and then it's like 3 days before free agency, you'll start hearing some rumors. Free agency happens and then the draft. So we'll figure out how to do that. But I expect a lot of overhaul again on this roster. I think that it's going to be Angel, Kennedy, Camila Cardoso are maybe the only players that I will guarantee comes back next season.
Facts.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what I hope Izzy comes back as well. I love Isabel Harrison, but we'll see what happens
Yeah.
there. But you guys can stay in tune with us, man. Make sure you guys follow us at Chicago Sky Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, Chicago Sky Central gmail.com. Lastly, if you guys want to send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Sky related, man. We'll see you guys